I get made fun of in school quite a lot, and it affects my mental health. Any tips as I'm losing hope? Okay, so Faith, this is a very, very good question, right? Being at school today, I think is a very, very difficult thing. Really, I think the challenges that you have at being at school today are next level, right? I'll give you an example. So this week I've been working from a library, right? I do that a lot because then it's quieter and it's easier to work from there. And what happens is during the day at the library, I just carry on as normal. I'm working, right? Then about 3:40, 3:45, all these kids from school, they start coming in to the library, right? And then what happens is they start sitting around me, because by that time most of the people that are in the library, they're kind of gone. So I'm sitting there now, and I'm with like loads of school children, and I've got to say it's fascinating. Like being there, it blew my mind, and probably not in a good way. The reason it blew my mind is just spending that time with children. And one thing I was quite interested to see is that a lot of the brothers and sisters, especially the Muslim children, they weren't really fazed by my appearance. Like in the old days, I was thinking that if I saw a guy who looked like me, like a long beard and like dressed in a thobe and stuff, I don't know if I would even sit on that table, because I'll be shy or whatever, right? But a lot of these people, they weren't like that. And so I was listening to the conversations that we were having. I was listening to the challenges that they're going through. I was listening to the mindsets. And I spent hours and hours around these kids in the last few times I've been to the library. And that's like within the last week or so. And I kind of deduced from that growing up today is a very, very tough thing. It's really, really tough. Like, growing up at that age is tough all the time. But being in today's age is different, right? We have a situation where our identity as Muslims is being really attacked, right? So it's not just that you've got the normal challenges of being at school, but you've got the normal challenges plus actually having this whole issue with Islam and being Muslim. And this is tough, because really at school and in these years, this is when your identity is formed. This is when you start to become a person and an adult. And what I would say is that there's a lot of stuff around school, right? The first thing is that if it's actually bullying, because someone's making fun out of you and this and that, like if it's actual bullying and it's getting to a point where it's like really, really, really tough, I think you need to speak to someone that you know and you trust. Okay, that's the first thing I would say. Now, there's a range of different kind of people that you can speak to, but you have to speak to someone, right? Because like it's great that you've had the courage to come up over here and talk about it, and it's really, really brave of you to do that. But I do think that you need to talk to someone. And you know what? Usually, it's the hard part is just saying the first bit. I remember when I was kind of gonna get married and I was going to speak to my parents about it. It was like really, really tough. Like one of the hardest things to ever speak to your parents about, right? But like I just blurted it out. It just went out. And then once it was out, it was like it's done type of thing. So what I would say is that try and talk to someone about it, right? If it's really bad, if it's really, really serious, let someone know about it, right? Because the way you've kind of described it is that you feel like it's affecting your mental health. You feel like you're like losing hope, right? So I would say don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. Like, everything that you've described, like, being made fun of and having issues in school, every one of us have been through it. Like, look at me, I've been through it, right? But right now, I don't even think about that stuff. It's like, I can't even remember stuff from school, So what I would say is that, speak to people that mom, dad, brother, sister, someone you trust, a friend, anyone. Second thing is that the people that are doing this, sometimes they don't actually understand the impact they're having on another human being. And really, like, you can't control their behavior so much, but you can control what you communicate to them, right? So rather than just being okay with it, you could actually discuss with them in particular that, look, the way you're making me feel is like this, okay? And it sounds silly, right? But sometimes it's needed, because you need to really assess the situation. That is this someone who is saying this to me because they know it's hurting me and they really feel like they want to hurt me? Or is it someone who's just like, sometimes children are just like really cruel and they don't know it, right? And they're just being like that and they don't think it has that much impact. So I would say, like, maybe look at communicating, right? And then the third thing I would say is that look at building your relationship with Allah, right? Building your relationship with Allah. Because the truth is, like, whether you're a child, whether you're an adult, the only thing that's ever going to solve your issue is Allah. And I don't mean solve as in like suddenly everything will get better, but I'm saying giving that contentness to your heart, that connection to Allah, that's the only thing that will give you hope. That's the only thing that your heart's going to find some relief in, right? So I think that building that relationship with Allah, correcting yourself, I think the more you correct yourself as a human being, the better you feel, right? So really, you wanna check yourself. I mean, if you're, I don't know what age you are, but if you're at the age that as Muslims we consider you an adult, which is you've gone through puberty, then at that point, you really want to think about your obligations from Allah, like praying, and obviously reading Quran, having that connection with Allah. And I would say, like, build that up. We're in a place where there's so much knowledge, alhamdulillah. You can go out on YouTube, you can get some great knowledge, you can get all kinds of information to inspire you about Islam, and just go out there. So just to recap, like I said, some of the things I would mention is that if it's extremely bad, then you need to talk to someone. And by the way, talking to someone, there's helplines out there for Muslims. There's a Muslim youth helpline that I used to be a counselor on. They're really, really good to speak to as well. I don't know if they're operating. And just talk to someone about it, right? Get some more advice, because from here, it's very difficult for me to get the full context from you, right? And then secondly, like I said, apart from that, like, you need to really discuss with that person if it's doing that, and you need to let them know that it's having that impact on you. Thirdly, like I said, you need to build that relationship with Allah, and you need to really make yourself stronger, right? And you need to remind yourself, you need to kind of coach yourself as well. This is like the fourth bonus tip, that you need to coach yourself and say, you know what, although I feel this way right now, I'm not going to feel like this forever. Your feelings, your emotions, they come and they're very strong, but then they pass as well if you let them go, right? So I would say that you could do stuff like there's an app called Headspace for something practical that does meditation and things like that. So if you ever wanted to get your mind relaxed in the morning, it might change your mood. There's things like Balance and Headspace. They're two apps that are really good for meditation to kind of clear your mind out, and hopefully that will make you feel less stressed and less kind of affected by it. And then the last thing is, of course, maybe you should go see your doctor, because if it's truly mental health, then that's more than just seeking help from Allah. Maybe there's some real help that you need from a qualified doctor, and maybe that's the best thing for you to do, and Allah knows best. I hope and I pray that Allah makes it easy for you and that it goes really, really well, inshallah. For